Welcome to Fique para Morrer, otherwise known as
True to Death.
Yes.
That was my what was it? Rocker voice. Yeah, my metal voice. Yeah.
You are on with Anna and
Sarah.
And
that was a long pause.
There was a long pause.
It was a long pause. It was almost like a dramatic emphasis pause. It was like, you're on with Anna and Sarah.
It's very dramatic.
And let's have a conversation. It was a very, very, very dramatic. Yeah. I feel on the edge of my seat already. that might be because I'm sitting on the edge of my sofa.
We are cousins who like to talk about true crime.
Amidst other nonsense.
Specifically, I like to tell Sarah about Portuguese true crime, and Sarah likes to tell me English, or more generally speaking, UK-based true crime.
Yes, I do.
And now that all that nonsense is done,
I'm not finished with our backstory, if you please, Dungeon Master.
Oh, fair enough.
And this is because we both have Portuguese and English ancestry, or rather, we both have Portuguese and English influences in our lives, which I will remind you of every week because I can.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, I think it's your turn tonight, Anna. What have we got?
So, I've got an interesting one.
Okay.
I'm still picking up a man on the mic's gauntlet, as it were. It's still not about murder.
So, shall we, for those who've skipped right to this episode, we usually discuss murders, but our man on the mic, Scott, decided he would throw down a challenge, and Anna has risen to it quite impressively. And the challenge is, can we find standout crimes, if you will, that do not involve murder? I have yet to present one. Anna's already done one.
Well, strictly speaking, you were kind of on the cusp of one, and then you kind of...
And then it just went...
and then you still took it into a murder area.
Yes. Well, it's funny you should say that, because I have an excellent starter conversation for you.
Oh, you go ahead.
How much do you think we can get away with saying in a podcast?
I think it depends very much on where you post it. I suspect that with Spotify, you can probably get away with quote unquote murder.
Okay.
But
it's the way she tells them. Sorry.
On the other hand, I'm pretty sure that YouTube, there's not much you could probably get away with based on the YouTubers that I watch and what their experience is. Bearing in mind, they don't even talk about they don't even talk about stuff like we do, like crime and murder and all of that. They literally just, a lot of them just play games, and even that is like, they have to be very, very careful.
Here's the catch. We're actually wrong on this. You can get away with a lot more on YouTube than you think.
Oh?
So, I did some research. Just because I got into this thing where I love saying the word unaliving, and I am going to throw this reference out there. I follow a YouTuber who says unaliving all the time, but he has got quite possibly my favorite accent in the whole wide world. And so when he says unaliving, I listen. I'm like, say it again. Anyway, but I thought I'd do some research and see how much exactly you can get away with on a podcast on YouTube. And believe it or not, you can say murder. You can say the type of murder. You can even say specifics. Someone got stabbed. Someone got strangled.
Is it like a question? Is this going to be like a question of what's it called? Like legal terms as opposed to colloquial terms.
It kind of is and it kind of isn't. So with YouTube, if you're talking facts, if it's a historical event and you're presenting it the way a documentary would present it, you're
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Okay.
Where YouTube starts punishing you is if you go into details that are unnecessarily graphic
Graphic.
or gory. So I can turn around and say someone was stabbed. What I can't turn around and say is the exact manner, place, position. I can't give those kind of details away.
Okay.
So even if I wanted to, which I found interesting. So brace yourselves, internet, because now I can say the word decapitated. You are stuck. So yeah, sucker. Anyway,
Turns out that's all she wanted. She just wanted to know that she could say that.
if I can say someone got hanged, yeah, that word's coming out my mouth. That
To
word's
be
coming
fair,
out my mouth.
there's a lot of British deaths that ended up being through hanging and decapitation. So that's probably a good thing, considering that's probably half of the stuff we'll be talking about in the first place.
100%. 100%. I can even get away with saying suffocation or asphyxiation. I cannot get away with saying how that happens.
I figure it's like a medical thing, right? It's a medical term, therefore you can get away with it. With it, it's kind of like you can probably get away with saying anatomical parts as opposed
Yes.
to in a medical.
Someone's cooch.
Yeah.
You can't say someone's sorry. That's like, oh, well, I just said it. Sorry, but you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think it's actually more to do with the fact that if you are presenting, because a lot of the cases we're talking about are historical. In fact, they all are. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't one that happened last week. Because the cases we're talking about are historical, so long as we are presenting it in a documentary style format, we are okay with saying it. It's what YouTube punishes quite heavily is the glorification of gore and graphic, because obviously, young people access YouTube, even though they shouldn't, they do. So YouTube has to pull the reins in when you start being specific.
We won't
So
do this now because I that might eat into a lot of our time. I suspect that conversation could go on for years. But
yes,
I do want at some point to enter into the conversation of how we all feel. And this is probably going to include Scott as well, our man on the mic.
yep.
How we all
I've just
feel
got some of my
about
coffee. Sorry.
that's quite all right. How we all feel about um uh media
Murder.
being punished. Well, that too, but no. Media being
Murder
punished.
is wrong,
I think
people.
we all
It's
know
wrong.
about how we feel about
Murder
that.
is wrong. Just saying. It is not good.
How we feel about media being punished for like media being what's the word? Censored versus
Oh damn.
parental
Oh
like
no, let's nah.
that sort of thing.
That's a well so deep. Samara from the Ring's gonna crawl out of there. Nah, nah.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's going to take us like an entire episode just to discuss that.
And while we're moving on to the story, I'm actually going to Google whether or not I got her name right from the Ring.
I think it is Samara.
Yeah, I used to
right.
to wind friends up because when when my hair's long enough, I can put it in front of my face, and that scares the crap out of people.
That is pretty scary.
I have done that on occasion. Just worn a white nightie and put my hair in front of my face, and people shit themselves. Excuse my language. Anyway, yes, I'm going to find her name. Oh, Samara. Yep. There you go. I got it right.
Yeah, my sister very much got me into a bunch of different horror movies, and The Ring was definitely one of them.
That's one of the scariest films I think I've ever seen.
definitely scared the pants off of me.
Yeah, I hear that all day. And the Japanese version is always better.
Oh,
Sorry,
absolutely. And
just saying.
scarier.
Oh, 100%. Right, I digress. Let's go back on
Right.
piste. We don't have our man on the mic to keep us on track.
No, absolutely no, we don't.
No.
Unfortunately.
But in his honour, I'm just going to say the word chicanery. Let's get on with our chicanery.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
It's now my favourite word. So, and it's his fault.
Fair
Just
enough.
blaming him. That's a real crime. So anyway, carry
Fair
on.
enough.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
quite all right. Again, he's not here to keep us on track.
Nope.
We are doomed.
Rein it in, Sarah. Rein it in. Carry on.
So, originally, I was going to do 2 people in one episode. However, this one kind of got away from me because there's a lot of detail and there was a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I had a lot of like
Unpicking.
compare and contrast.
Oh.
Contrast. Compare and
Contra-
contrast to do.
contrasting.
I'm pretty sure it's contrast.
Don't go
But
American. I love Americans, but I love some Americans. But and I saw right. Okay, don't say contrasting. I just wanted to say that. Carry on.
fair.
Compare and contrast.
I had to do a lot of that because there was a lot of information and a lot of it was different in different websites. Anyway, I'm going to go into it. I'm
Okay.
going to talk about today about Camilo Castelo Branco, who was a prolific writer from the 1800s.
Wow.
I
love writers.
Absolutely.
Carry on. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I've got my information from Wikipedia, the Camilo em Passos website, the flagship cases section of the Tribunal da Relação do Porto website, Camilo Rotas do Escritor website, Casa de Camilo website, and O Rapto de Patrícia by Bento da Cruz, found in Município de Vila Real website.
That is a lot of websites.
Yes.
That's a lot of websites. Like
there was a lot.
That's a nah.
Of information. There's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it is taken from his writings.
Okay.
Although we'll see whether that is correct or, well, not correct, whether that is a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I feel slightly intimidated by it. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of research.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I basically, I went cross-eyed at a certain point and I had to quit on Saturday when I started doing the research because it was a bit much.
I've just gone cross-eyed now. Like, I literally was like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, my eyes crossed.
We will start with, as I said, he was a famous Portuguese writer and novelist born in Rua da Rosa in Lisbon on the 16th of March, 1825. Was
he like Charles Dickens-esque? Did he write serials or was he actually a full-on novelist?
He started off as a journalist, but he also wrote novellas kind of thing.
Ooh.
And then eventually he wrote novels. He also wrote poetry, although
was it kinky?
Well, not well.
Oh, sorry, that was a really, really crude question. I do apologize.
Quite all right.
William Shakespeare wrote some kinky stuff.
True. Well, he did write romances at times. Not all the time, but at times.
I love a good romance.
But Yeah, he also wrote poetry, although some people say he's not very good at poetry.
Okay.
So
I'm just sorry. I'm just picturing the Portuguese equivalent of "There was an old man from Bombay." You know, limericks. Do you know?
well, there is actually a Portuguese poet who did write limericks similar
Limericks.
to that, and he
Shut
was
the front
raunchy.
door.
He was a raunchy writer. I can
Wow.
maybe bring some of his stuff at some point to one of
So
our episodes.
all the
But
Portuguese
yeah.
people will blush. So all the Portuguese speakers will be, oh, this is a bit much. The English speakers will be like, what? What?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Anyway.
hopefully, because it's in Portuguese, most of YouTube won't even know.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. They're not
Probably.
soft. Yeah. What was I going to
Well,
say?
it's not
So
even
back
about
to,
being it's not even
go on.
about them being soft, it's just about, like, they just want to.
Money, money, money,
Yeah,
money.
exactly. Anyway,
Money. Back to Branca.
so, he was the illegitimate son, born on his father's side into a family that was part of the small and recent aristocracy in Trás-os-Montes. His parents, Manuel Joaquim Botelho Castelo Branco and Jacinta Rosa do Espírito Santo Ferreira, had 2 children but never got married.
Her middle names was Espírito Santo.
I'm pretty sure do Espírito Santo is do Espírito Santo Ferreira is like surname.
Okay,
But
but
I
that's not
don't.
my point. That's not my point. My point is her name is the Holy Spirit.
Oh yes. Yeah, but that's a very to be fair, the reason why I didn't flag that as what you meant is because that's a very like common surname in Portugal.
Would you believe I don't think people in England know this or in the UK know this? I don't think they get it. Well, there was a football player a few years back, and I am trying to engage all the football fans out there. So come on, jump in.
Nice.
Um, there was an English team which had a Portuguese player, and his name was Espírito Santo. I'm sure
Yeah.
it was in there. And you know when you're like, as a Portuguese, as someone who understands certain words and
What the
phrases in
words are.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
I was dying. I was literally laughing my head every time he'd get the ball, and the commentators are, "Oh, Espírito Santo!" No, 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 no. Stop it.
Yep.
Stop.
Very common surname, funnily enough.
Yes, yes,
That's why
but
I didn't kind of flag it because I was like, yeah, what of it?
yeah, it means nothing over there. It means hilarity over here. It's like calling. Although I suppose some people call their children precious or peace
Yeah.
or what blessing. Blessing. I used to teach a girl called Blessing. Um,
Yep.
yeah, it's a thing. So there you go. Just for all of you who didn't know, yes, people call themselves. Their names are Holy Spirit. Just
Yep.
saying. Anyway, thank God their names are not Satan, lover. Anyway, anyway,
I do wonder where that came from, like the same way that a lot of names were taken from the jobs that they performed. I do wonder where the Holy Spirit came from, which is an
well,
interesting sentence that I've said just now.
I know where the Holy Spirit came from. I do. I do. It's just a simple answer. Came from the Bible.
Nice, very nice. Very nice.
Oh my God, that was yeah.
Keeping it real.
Tip your waitress. I'm here all week. Anyway, carry on.
So his mother died when he was 2 and his dad when he was 10.
Oh,
And because of this, much like Hamilton, which I'm now getting all the theatre kids in, he would never be satisfied.
oh, oh. Yeah, you and I see very differently about Hamilton, but let's go on. So it's not my
Fair.
favourite theatre show. Not my favourite. I know it's one of yours. So out of
It's
respect,
one of
I
mine.
will.
I think my favourite is Wicked, but it is. I do like Hamilton.
Yeah. Favorite theatre show. Oh, let's not. Yeah, back on piste. Back on
Right.
piste.
So, as decided by the family, he and his sister Carolina were taken in by their parental aunt Rita Emilia in Vila Real,
Okay.
who raised them allegedly without affection. This was until 1839, when Carolina married a medical student by the name of Francisco José de Azevedo, who lived in Vilarinho de Samardã with his
Okay.
brother, Father Antonio de Azevedo. And the priest welcomed the 14-year-old with great affection and taught him Christian doctrine, Latin, French, and Portuguese, and
Damn.
incentivized him to read Portuguese and Latin classic literature. So a lot of people raising him. Some gave him affection, some didn't.
Yeah,
a lot of
that
different
happens.
influences, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing that. Wow. Okay.
Sometime around 1841, he moved in with his cousin, Maria do Loreto, in Friume, in order to attend lessons by a Latinist, Father Manuel Rodrigues, otherwise known as Manuel da Lixa.
Okay.
It's said this period heavily influenced his future works.
Okay. I'm with you so far. I feel there's a big thing coming. Like
it gets progressively bigger.
Okay.
So
nope. I'm not going to. Yeah, carry on.
And
My mind just went.
You'll start to. That's okay. It's gonna go places.
Yes.
So here he met and fell in love with Joaquina Pereira de França, the daughter of a merchant, and on 18th of August 1841, at 16 years old, he married her in the He married her in the county of Ribeira de Pena, where he worked temporarily as a word I'd never heard of before in Portuguese or English.
Okay.
So first time pronouncing this.
Go ahead.
Amanuensis.
Hey, what? Okay, no, hang on.
Is basically a scribe.
Amanuensis.
Amanuensis.
Do you mean
know how it's
amanuensis or a? Yeah, spell it for me.
AMANUENNINSIS.
What the hell?
Amanuensis.
Can't they just say scriptwriter?
It's not technically a scriptwriter.
Scripts,
it's basically like he didn't write
transcribing.
Scripts, he transcribed stuff.
Yeah. That's
basically
what a transcriber.
People dictated and he wrote stuff down.
I wonder if that was just like the old world name for a transcription.
It's possible. But yeah.
Now you can see why people use the words transcription instead. That's just amanuensis. Yeah. Amanuensis sounds like something a woman would have every month. Just saying. just putting that out there.
So I found the word in Portuguese which sounds very similar to this, and then I went to translate it from in Google, and Google just basically gave me the same word but in English. And I was like, are you sure? So I looked it up, and it was a thing. It also gave me scribe, but even scribe isn't quite right, because scribes usually take stuff from works that are already written down. And
I'm literally Googling it right now, yeah.
And he was basically taking dictation, essentially.
It's a scribe! It's a scribe! Well, sorry. So it basically, Google's telling me that an amanuensis is a literary or artistic assistant, in particular one who takes dictation or copies manuscripts. And it says, while other quaint words such as scribe or scrivener might have similarly described the functions of such a person in the past, these days we're likely to call him a secretary or administrative assistant. So he was basically someone's secretary.
Right.
So yeah, the whole romantic element out of that word has just been shot to
It's
shit.
just gone.
I was there going, oh, it's an amanuensis, and now I'm like, he's a secretary.
Well, he
Respect to
was a scribe.
secretaries. He was a scribe. Let's go with that. That sounds far more fancy. Anyway,
Posh.
yeah, go with that.
The marriage is thought to have sprouted from puppy love since it didn't last long, but they did have a daughter, Rosa, born on the 25th of October, 1841.
How old was he then? Because my mum was only 16 when he got married.
Yep, 1841, still 16.
No, okay, all right, okay. Sorry, that was a bit of
And
a loud guttural reaction, but that's very young.
the baby, it is very young.
That's very young.
The child Rosa died on the 10th of March of 1848, only
Oh,
a few months after her mother, who died on the 25th of November of 1847.
oh, damn! Why? What? Were they
Um,
ill? You
that
don't
I
know.
have not found any information as to how
That's got to be
they
an
died.
illness. That's got to be an illness.
Most likely, yes.
That's so sad.
Um,
Oh,
However, before these events, while they are both still alive, he is encouraged by his father in law to enroll at Porto University to study medicine from 1842 to 1845, leaving his wife and daughter behind. Then,
wow.
according to Camilo's Memórias do Cárcere, translated to Memories of Prison, in 1846, he found himself in Coimbra, presumably to study law, although there is no mention of this in the university's records.
Okay.
You'll find there's a lot of this going on.
Okay. It's like we think he was doing this, but we're not quite sure.
Well,
And
he
then they think he was
says,
doing that, but we're not
according
quite
to
sure.
according to his own writings, like
Mm-hmm.
he wrote Memórias do Cárcere,
Okay.
and
So,
in that he wrote that he went to Coimbra to study law, but there's no mention of that in the university's records.
and he wrote this from
So
prison or memories of prison.
after prison, but yes,
Yeah.
in
Okay.
memories,
Okay.
in a book called Memories of Prison.
This is going somewhere.
Oh,
I'm
it's
knuckled in.
going.
I'm knuckled in. I'm ready. Right. I'm
So
ready, Teddy.
later in 1846, back in Vila Real, he met Patricia Emilia do Carmo de Barros, an
Okay.
orphan living with her aunt and godmother, Rita Moreira, who was also mother-in-law to Maria de Loreto, Camilo's cousin, who he'd been living with, if you remember.
Yeah.
Patricia, who at 20 years of age was the life and soul of her aunt Suarez, was seduced by Camilo, and soon the two fancied themselves in love.
Okay.
They were prevented from being alone together by her godmother, so the pair ran away toward Porto, where they were promptly arrested.
For what?
Prison records show the arrest was made due to suspected theft. I'm so glad you asked.
I'm not. It's making no sense to me because like they just eloped, man. Like what exactly did they steal?
Right. So, the arrest happened on the 12th of October, 1846, and they were released by order of the same judge who had ordered their imprisonment.
Okay.
That is all the records show.
What?
However, according to Maria da Fonte by Castelo Branco himself, again another piece of work that he wrote, Camilo's enemies in writing, that's what he calls them, enemies in writing. Well, technically he calls them enemies in letters, but
So it's competition.
basically, yes, essentially, sniffed
Okay.
out evidence of his time spent in prison. And in
Okay.
1949, In 1949, Camilo requests his uncle, João Pinto da Cunha, to set the record straight and write to the newspapers in response that this is all in his book, right?
Okay.
He asks his uncle to write that his uncle had himself had Camilo arrested.
What?
The reason for the arrest is kidnapping, not theft.
What?
And his uncle came up with a pretext of theft to prevent a connection that would make him, his nephew, Camilo, unhappy.
What?
To clarify, Pinto da Cunha ordered his envoy in Porto to have Camilo arrested for kidnapping a woman.
But Camilo wanted his uncle to write this.
Yes. Absolutely. As claimed by himself.
You can't trust him. He's a writer.
As claimed by the man himself, he wanted his uncle to write this.
Okay.
That he had him arrested, presumably to prevent a connection that would make him unhappy. He had him arrested for kidnapping a woman. When this did not work, he told the envoy to instead file a complaint for theft of high-value jewelry and tableware to the total value of 20,000 cruzados.
Shut the front door.
Which would be approximately today £274,670.
Oh my God. The man's insane.
Camilo further wrote that should he had insisted in marrying honorably with the kidnapped, meaning Patricia, he likely would have been arrested for theft to the value of 30,000 cruzados, meaning that if he had gone further with insisting in marrying her, then his uncle would have upped the ante, essentially.
Wow. Okay.
And arrested him for more to get him to stop.
This must
However,
change.
Let's not forget that he's still married to someone else.
This must change so much shit. Sorry. But he's a writer. I, as a fellow amateur writer, we make up shit for a living.
Oh, 100%. Having said
That's
all that,
what we do.
Having said all that, he also lowered his own sentence, claiming he was arrested 7 rather than 11 days. So he claimed he'd been arrested between the 9th and 16th of October of 1846, when records show that he was arrested between the 12th and the 23rd of October.
So I'm a bit fuzzy on the dates I was actually in jail.
Yeah, 11, you know not 7 days.
It sounds a bit like it was just 1 week. Yeah, all right.
While in the same written work, he had also referred to his uncle as illiterate, the same uncle that he asked to write all of that to the newspaper. With clarification to the newspaper.
Dear illiterate uncle, can you please write this, and 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 this.
I've written down, so maybe take everything with a pinch of salt.
I don't know where to begin with this fella.
Absolutely.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, okay.
Moving on, in 1847, he and Patricia moved back to Vila Real, where they lived maritally, and had a daughter, Bernardina Amelia, born 25th of June, 1848. Now, here's the thing. The only things I was able to take as facts, because they weren't from his writings, were the dates. Because this is when people were born and died, essentially.
Yeah.
So those are like when his children are born and when his marriage is recorded And, like, that stuff is the only things that I have been able to take as facts. Everything else, I have to say allegedly, because it's
Because it is.
mainly from his writings.
Because it is. My man's telling you stuff. So the joys of biased, biographical.
Both of those.
Yeah, you can tell it's late in the evening. My brain's just gone.
It's quite
So-
all right.
Yes. So he's basically pants on fire right now.
Absolutely. So on the 28th of
Hallelujah.
April, 1847, he is hired to work again as an amanuensis, for the civil government of Vila Real by Tomás Maria de Paiva Barreto.
Okay.
According to some biographers, he was offered this position after taking part in the revolution of Maria da Fonte on the side of the Miguelists.
Okay.
The specifics of this revolution I can cover at a later time if people would like me to, but it's a lot of information to include here when this is already saturated with information. So I didn't really go into that to explain what the revolution was in the first place. But anyway,
Fair enough.
There's just to locate where we are right now.
We are very, very overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. It's like, yeah, okay. So, yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
So, he was hired as a scribe for the civil government of Vila Real.
Okay.
After the end of the revolt is achieved with the Convention of Gramido, José Cabral Teixeira de Moraes, a Cabralist, is made civil governor of Vila Real, and Camilo has published correspondence against him in the newspaper O Nacional.
Oh.
Yeah, not great.
Douche move.
He gets a beating ordered by the governor.
Oh.
So he's beaten up.
Oh.
By order of the governor. And the same happened again in 1848, this time by 11 sergeants of the 3rd Hunter Battalion, stationed in Vila Real, due to what Camilo had written in the newspapers about their cowardice and treason during the revolution of Maria da Fonte.
Oh! Well, at least he speaks his mind.
So my man is taking shots left and right, but he's also dishing out shots.
I was about to say, he's dishing out shots and taking punches. That's my top and bottom of it. Yeah, no. So, wow, okay. Well, he puts his money where his mouth is. You've got to give him that.
However, we can suppose from a letter transcribed by Alberto Pimentel from a
Why am I not going to like this?
From a Vila Real inhabitant that I don't believe, and this is a quote, I don't believe Camilo was present, well, a translated quote anyway. I don't believe Camilo was present in this land during the revolution of 1846. I believe he didn't even reside here.
What? Okay. So he says he was there.
Something that he didn't participate
but he wasn't even there. Wow. Okay.
So again, pinch of salt.
This guy's impressive. He really is. Like, I'm impressed. That's a level of lying that's, yeah, wow. Okay. If that's his crime, he's, yeah, wow. But I feel it's going to get worse.
He once again left town, this time with his uncle, Pinto da Cunha, but left him halfway through the journey for Covas do Douro. At some point, Manuel Pereira Cardoso, who looked remarkably like Camilo, joined Pinto da Cunha in his travel.
Okay.
And was accosted and beaten by 3 troublemakers and suffered from severe from severe head injuries, falling off his horse to his death.
Wow.
The news spreads that Camilo Castelo Branco was murdered.
Okay.
Because this was a man that looked remarkably like him.
Like him. Yeah, okay.
Going so far as to come out... so the news spreads going so far as to come out in the newspapers.
I could just picture him showing up while they're all going, oh no, and he walks in going, morning. Don't tell me that's what he does.
Pretty much returned to Portugal upon his discovery of the news of his own death. Camilo writes a letter to be published in the O Nacional newspaper, adding levity to the situation.
Unbelievable. Do you know Gloria Gaynor wrote a song about this? Or she sang a song about this. I think it's called I Will Survive. Just okay. All right. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. My man was just would not stop.
This man's like a cat. He's got 9 friggin' lives.
Absolutely.
That's so funny.
In 1849, he exchanged letters with Maria da Felicidade do Couto Brown, a married woman who hosted literary salons in Porto. These letters are rumored to be a sign that the two were romantically involved, which purportedly leads her son, Ricardo Brown, to come to blows with Camilo, and years later the two engage in a duel.
Oh, I love a good duel.
Whether they did or not actually have an affair, I don't know, but supposedly the letters are a sign that basically it was happening.
Whoops.
Also, according to Wikipedia, I haven't been able to find anything else like corroborating that, but according to Wikipedia, the lady Maria da Felicidade was 50 years old, or thereabouts.
And he was how old roughly about that time?
He was about 22.
Oh, you dog! Wow.
He was born in 1825, I think it was.
Yeah. If she bagged
and this was 1849.
I'm saying that again. If she bagged that, I'm going to give her some creds because, like, wow. Wow, that is robbing the cradle and then some. Wow. Okay. All right, go on, Maria.
Little bit. But although, to be fair, it's not like he had... It's not like he didn't have his choice of women, you know what I mean?
Oh, clearly he's a writer. He's got the gift of the gab.
Around this time, he purportedly fell in love with a nun from the convent of São Bento de Ave Maria.
Oh my God! No woman's off the cards.
By the name of Isabel Vaz Mourão.
Sorry.
And this is where Wikipedia comes in. According to Wikipedia, this would be... Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down?
I hope so. Okay. I mean, I am sitting down, but I'm not sure if I'm ready. Carry on.
According to Wikipedia, this would be the same nun to whom his daughter, Bernardina, would be entrusted after having first been left at a foundling wheel and then cared for by a nursemaid. Although I have found no further reference to this. So there's no reference anywhere else other than Wikipedia. So I can't affirm that this is true.
I wish you could see my jaw. It's by my knees. Like, the more you were speaking, the more I was like, what? What? What?
Can you imagine?
No.
If this is true.
No. My, you cannot make that stuff up. You just can't.
There is literally, apparently Wikipedia may have, but I have found no evidence. If anyone out there has like actual corroboration, please provide it.
Yes, please.
Please show us, because I would love to see this. This is what Wikipedia says. I have found nowhere else, and I've done a lot of research into this, but I found nowhere else that stated this.
I'd love to know. That's a hell of a pub conversation. Oh, yeah, you're a bit saucy. You are, yeah. I think I know you. Where do I know you from? Oh, well, have you heard of Bernardino? Oh, that's maybe.
So
So,
around the same time, he falls madly in love with Ana Plácido, who is engaged to Manuel Pinheiro Alves, a merchant returned from Brazil. And in 1850, either due to their marriage or religious exaltation, he as in Camilo, enrolls to take minor orders at the seminary in Porto with the intention to be ordained.
that
He
man can't
quits
keep it in
months
his pants.
he
Yeah,
quits months later and
months later,
returns to his bohemian lifestyle.
I'm surprised he lasted that long. Just saying. He's got an incredible knack for falling in love. Like, damn. This man's
Absolutely. Like all of these three women happened around the same time.
yeah, well, this man
Supposedly.
falls in love more than I eat food. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Like,
But supposedly,
damn.
so Ana Plácido is supposedly the thing. Like this is it. Like this is his big love. He writes one of his big novels is written supposedly about her.
Okay.
So he seduced Ana Plácido and the two began an affair. Around this time, he is now living exclusively off his writing.
Wow.
Absolutely.
He's
I believe I read somewhere that he's the first Portuguese writer who was able to live off of his writing.
For context, just to give you context, Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, who we all, idolize now as one of the fathers of the Gothic horror poem, essentially, or even Gothic horror short story, or I wouldn't say novel. I'm not sure he wrote anything long enough to be considered a novel, but I digress. He spent most of his life penniless. His writing didn't make him money. And I want to say around the same time, but it's definitely early to mid 1800s. So there's a context for it. If you're able to make money and live off your writing, you've done well. That's just putting it out there.
Absolutely.
So carry on.
Thank you very much.
Just like, where did I live off? Where did I get to? They were having an affair. Like I was paying attention.
Yeah, so he moves to Viana do Castelo, and so does Anna, under the pretense of accompanying an ill sister.
I'm just scared to look after my sister.
My sister is so unwell.
Well,
Can't you hear her coughing?
Here's this handsome scribe / writer / gardener / yes, all right. Anyway.
He just happens to also live there. I'm not going there for him. He just happens to also live there.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed. No, wrong film. Anyway.
Once the scandal is made public, their families, including her husband, put pressure on the couple to end their love affair, for which early in 1859 they ran away together to Lisbon.
There's a lot of that.
A child, Manuel Plácido, is born, legally as Manuel Pinheiro Alves' son, albeit thought to be Camilo's.
Wow.
In July 1859, Ana is sent to live reclusively at the convent of Conceição de Braga, but a little after a month she escapes to live with Camilo.
Oh, they must really love each other.
Absolutely. Recognizing that there is no hope of reconciliation, Alves took the hint and takes them to the Court of Appeal in Porto, and Ana is arrested and imprisoned for adultery, while Camilo briefly wanders through the regions of Minho and Trás-os-Montes before turning himself in on the 1st of October of 1859.
Wow. I didn't realize that was a punishable crime.
I guess I didn't realize it either, but I guess maybe in Portugal it was. I mean, at the
Or would
very
it have been
least,
a Victorian thing?
I assume that the husband maybe had money enough to like sue them
I'm
for
gonna
adultery kind of thing.
I'm gonna consult the almighty internet right now,
Fair.
and check if you could get arrested for adultery in Victorian Britain. Bear with me. Carry on while you. Yeah, because it'll take me a minute to type this up. So he turned himself in.
So he turned himself in. The couple would stay in prison for a year, at the end of which time they were acquitted by the judge José Maria de Almeida Teixeira de Queiroz, who you might not recognize, but I'm sure a lot of our Portuguese listeners will recognize as the father of the acclaimed writer Essa de Queiroz.
Oh, wow.
A lot of like intertwined famous people in this one.
Stuff going on. No, in Victorian Britain, it was not illegal, but it obviously had its consequences. So, particularly for the woman, of course. So,
I mean, to be fair, they were taken. They weren't taken. They were taken to a court of appeal. So whether that was like,
do you think he was applying for an annulment, possibly?
Potentially, but they were actually arrested.
Yeah.
The couple would stay in prison for about a year at the end. So I've said that. They moved to Lisbon after they were acquitted, where they would live together and have their son, Jorge, in the 28th of June, 1863, until in 1864, following Pinheiro Alves' death, they moved to São Miguel de Sade to live in the house which had been his and passed on to his heir, Manuel Plácido. Remember the little boy who was born who
I think was his. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
So they moved to his house. During the year he spent in prison, he was visited by King Dom Pedro V, Dom Pedro V, twice. And this is also where he met the figure whom I'll be discussing next time. And I've got a hint, if you'd like a hint. And to any of our Portuguese listeners, if you don't already know, here's the hint. This man became known as the Portuguese Robin Hood.
Okay. I like that. I like Robin Hood in general. It's, yeah. Okay. Colour me peaked.
And that was Camilo Castelo Branco. There is more known about the rest of his life, but I'm going to leave it there. If anyone would like to go and do some more research, they are more than welcome to. But yeah.
I am quite speechless. This guy was clearly a player.
That was his stint in prison, twice arrested. Oh, and the thing that I wanted to say, because Wikipedia, it says this on the English version of because I usually read when I'm doing research, I usually read the Portuguese page and the English page, because sometimes they have like either more information one way or the other, or they sometimes have conflicting information, in which case I can then research that particular piece of information in order to corroborate either side.
Yeah. But
in the English version of the page assigned to Camilo Castelo Branco, there is a lovely piece of information saying that the first time he was arrested was due to having disinterred The remains of his first wife.
What?
I have found no evidence of this. The first time, according to everything else, the first time that, because Wikipedia says he was arrested twice, and that is right. That is correct. That is like evidence based. He was
Does
arrested
anything
twice.
say what he was arrested for the first time around?
Yes, the first time around was when he supposedly kidnapped Patricia.
But where does disinterring your wife come from? Like
Exactly. There
What?
is nothing else. There is nowhere else, neither on the Portuguese version of the page, of the Wikipedia page, or anywhere else that I've researched, does it mention him disinterring his wife.
You just want to ask the question, where the hell did that wiki contributor get that from?
Exactly. I want to know. If anyone knows, please tell me, because I've searched everything.
A free 3-month Patreon membership to whoever can find that out.
Because it's not like it's not like the Wikipedia page says, oh, he actually was arrested 3 times, and one of those times was this. No, it says he was arrested twice, which is true. He was arrested first for theft, but it was actually for the kidnapping of Patricia, and the second time for adultery with Anna.
Yeah, so all that agrees.
All of that is true. But
disinterring of the
but Patricia isn't even mentioned in the English version. Instead, they claim that he was arrested first for disinterring his first wife.
Yep. If you can provide a source that backs this Wikipedia interpretation up, or at least find out where that has come from, and you present it.
For the love of God, please hand it over, because I am so curious.
3 months of Patreon for you following us just because we can. So just because we can. So find out. There's a prize to be won. So
my God, that is just I wasn't even going to go into this much detail for this man, but I saw that piece of information, and I had to do my research. And upon doing my research, I found all of this out, because all I knew was, to begin with, was about his arrest due to the adultery case.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where it links with the next person I'm going to talk about. And this guy wasn't even the primary guy I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Portuguese Robin Hood. Right?
Yes.
But in researching about him, I found out about this guy. And in finding out about this guy, I saw the claim that he had disinterred his first wife. And I found that so interesting, I started researching. But I have found nothing else claiming that.
Challenges out there, people.
So I don't know if it's true. I don't know if that Wikipedia editor was just having a bit of fun. But yeah, that was. But yes, that is the story of not told all the way through, but told of Camilo Castelo Branco.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's incredible. Yeah, I don't know what to do with all that. I think it's going to take me an hour of sitting and cogitating before I actually filter that through my brain enough. I have to let it drip read. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
Yeah, valid. Well,
but yeah, tune in for my next episode. Probably not the one after that. Tune in for the next one too, for God's sake.
Yes.
But also tune in to the one after that to hear about the Portuguese Robin Hood.
Just keep tuning in, people. Just keep.
Absolutely.
Funnily enough, my next story is about robbing as well. So
nice.
So it's definitely, if you're going to pick an interesting crime, theft is probably the way to go. But
absolutely.
but yeah. After this, we may start veering back into good old fashioned moida. So
Absolutely.
yes. Um, Stay tuned. We've got more stories coming for you, and I've been a very fascinated, very confused, and very overwhelmed Sarah.
I've been Anna.
And we shall see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Bye. Bye.
bye
Bye.
bye 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 bye.